Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Devarim. In Perek Aleph Pasuk Aleph it says, Ela Devarim Asher Diber Moshe. These are the words that Moshe said. Usually we start off by Daber Hashem el Moshe Lemor. The Nachmonides says that Moshe could not speak. And the reason why he could not speak, he was Koved Lashon and Kavad Peh. That's to prove that what Moshe said was meant and came directly from Hashem. It wasn't Moshe speaking on his own, because Moshe could not speak properly. It was difficult to understand him. You couldn't have a simple conversation with him easily. But when Hashem was giving the messages, then Hashem would daber. The Shekhinah was midaber b'toch grono shel Moshe. It came through the voice box of Moshe. So clearly that was a proof that what Moshe was speaking about was from Hashem, because otherwise he would not be able to speak. The Nachmonides says that once Moshe taught the four Svarim of the Torah, Bereshis, Shemos, Vayikra, and Bamidbar, then there was no longer a need for this proof, and therefore at that point it says, Ela Devarim Asher Diber Moshe. Moshe himself was able to speak. In this case, it was because Hashem would speak to him, would still be telling him, but it would be Moshe repeating it in his own words. And by the way, the reason why Paro did not kick out Moshe Rabbeinu on his birthday when he was coming to bring news about God was because even Paro, who knew Moshe as a young lad from the miracle that happened, where the proof that Moshe wasn't so wise was because he took the coal instead of the gold, and he burnt himself. So Paro knew that Moshe couldn't speak, and therefore he saw that finally Moshe was speaking clearly. He knew it was a miracle, so he didn't kick him out right away. The Meged Yosef, who we've brought quite a number of times, has another insight. He brings down on the same pasuk Aleph that the Midrash there says, Midrash Rabbah, Moshe lo zacha l'Torah ad shelo zacha l'Torah ksiv vo ish devarim anochi. Moshe said, I'm not lo ish devarim anochi. I'm not a man of words. Ani kavad peh kavad lashon. That's in Shemos Perek Daled. Pasuk Yud, but it's talking here about the miracle that people had a refuah at Matan Torah, including Moshe Rabbeinu. Now he was no longer kavad lashon. But in Perek Daled Pasuk Yud, in Shemos, the Ramban there, Nachmonides, says that Moshe did not want to have his kvad peh. He didn't want to fix that blemish because he wanted to remember the miracle that Hashem did for him by protecting him from being killed by Paro, because he chose the hot coal and burned himself rather than taking the gold. So the question of the Meged Yosef is, it seems to be a contradiction here. On one hand, it says in the Midrash that he was healed. On the other hand, the Ramban is saying that Moshe didn't want that. He wanted to remain unhealed. So how can we understand this? So he says there's a distinction between the two parts. In the pasuk it says kavad peh v'kavad lashon. Kavad lashon is talking about that Moshe cannot. That's the speaking part, the power of speech. The kavad peh is talking about the physical area where you see the mouth come out, but actually it is not involved with the speaking process. So when it comes to the Midrash is talking about the healing of the lashon, the power to speak. When it comes to what the Ramban is talking about, that's the visual external part, the remembrance of the miracle. Therefore, that part, the remembrance of the kvad peh, so that was not healed, but still the power of speech, kvad lashon, was healed, but the blemish still remained. Similarly, if you looked at a case where someone at Matan Torah, they were blind, they may have been healed if they now could see, but the eye still looked like the eye of a blind person. So that's how we see the distinction between the two parts, between the Midrash talking about kvad lashon, the power of speech being healed, and the Ramban talking about the physical manifestation or visibility of the body part